Dawn broke over Lagos, casting a golden light over our little family home. The night's battles seemed like a distant memory as we prepared for the day ahead. Aisha was busy making breakfast, the kids' laughter filling the air. I checked my phone. Pastor Toby had sent a message asking us to visit him at the church. Aisha, we need to see Pastor Toby today, I said, sipping my coffee. She nodded, her eyes serious. I think he's got some insight on what's going on. At the church, Pastor Toby greeted us warmly, his office a haven of peace. I've been praying for you guys. The enemy's got a strong hold, but God's got you. Aisha leaned forward. What do you think is happening, Pastor? Pastor Toby's expression turned grave. I sense a web of deception around you. Someone close is involved in these attacks. I frowned. Who?
Not sure, but be careful who you trust. The enemy uses people we know to sow discord. Aisha's eyes widened. But why us? Because you're standing for God, Michael. You're a threat to the darkness. As we left the church, the sun seemed less bright, shadows lurking at the edges. We knew we had to be vigilant. The enemy was using every trick. That night, Aisha received a strange message on her phone, a video of our kids playing in the backyard sent from an unknown number. Aisha's hand trembled. Michael, they're watching us. I took the phone, my jaw clenched. We'll get security involved. But the message that came next made my blood run cold. They won't be safe, not unless you step back. Aisha looked at me, fear in her eyes. What do they want? I pulled her close. We'll figure it out, together. The threats continued, each one ratcheting up the tension. We kept the kids close, hardly letting them out of our sight. Aisha was a wreck, her eyes haunted by fear. Michael, what if they hurt them? She whispered one night, as we lay in bed, the kids asleep beside us. I pulled her close. They won't. We're in God's hands. But the enemy kept pushing. Strange noises in the night, objects moving on their own, the sense of being watched. We upped security, but the threats kept coming. One evening, as I returned from work, Aisha met me at the door, her face pale. Michael, it's Joshua. He's sick. I rushed into the hospital. High fever, convulsions. The doctors worked frantically, but Joshua's condition worsened. Aisha was beside herself. What's happening to my baby? In desperation, I called Pastor Toby. Pray, Michael, now. The doctor smiled. He's going to be okay. Aisha collapsed into tears. God saved him. But the reprieve was temporary. That night, the threats resumed, louder, more intense. Aisha looked at me, her voice barely above a whisper. They won't stop, will they? I held her tight. We'll stand firm. God holds us together. The darkness closed in, but we stood, united. The attacks intensified. Doors opening by themselves, shadows in the kids' rooms, strange calls in the night. Aisha was breaking, her eyes sunken, her smile gone. Michael, I can't take it anymore, she whispered as we lay in bed, the kids asleep. I held her close. We'll get through this, Omogo. But she was right. The pressure was crushing us. One night, Faith woke up crying, pointing at the wall. Mama, monster! Aisha snapped. She screamed, Leave us alone, in Jesus' name! The room shook, like the very walls were fighting back. I grabbed the kids, pulling them close. Aisha, stop! We'll pray! As we prayed, the chaos stopped. The house grew quiet. Aisha collapsed, sobbing. I can't do this, Michael. I held her, my own faith wavering. God's with us. We need to trust. Pastor Toby arrived, praying with us, speaking words of peace. The enemy's trying to break you. Stand firm. But as he left, Aisha looked at me, her voice cold. I need a break, Michael. Space. My heart sank. Was the enemy breaking us apart?
Aisha moved out, staying with her sister. The kids were confused, crying for their mom. I was torn between my love for her and the battle we faced. Michael, maybe she's right, my mom said over the phone. Take a break, son. But I knew Aisha. She was running from the pain, not to a solution. Days passed, the attacks worsening. One night, I woke to find the kids' room empty. Panic hit. I searched the house, calling their names. Then I heard it. Aisha's scream from outside. I rushed out. She was on the ground, the kids crying beside her. A dark figure vanished into the night. Aisha looked up, wild-eyed. They took Faith! My heart stopped. No, we'll find her. The hunt began. Police, friends, church, no leads. Aisha was frantic, blaming herself. As night fell, a message came. Meet me at the old church. Come alone. I knew it was a trap, but I traded anything for Faith. Aisha grabbed my arm. I'll go with you.
We arrived at the old church, our hearts pounding. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman in black, her eyes glowing. Give up, Michael. Leave God, and I'll return Faith. Aisha stepped forward, her voice steady. No, we'll never give up Jesus. The woman laughed. Fools, you'll lose everything. Suddenly, Joshua shouted, Daddy, look, pointing at the sky. A bright light descended, filling the church. The woman screamed, backing away. Faith ran to us, unharmed. Mama, Papa? As we hugged her tight, the darkness vanished. Aisha and I looked at each other, tears streaming. We stood firm, she whispered. I smiled. God held us together. The attacks stopped. Peace returned. We knew, no matter what came, we'd face it united. Aisha smiled, her eyes shining. Love conquers, Michael. I nodded. With God, always.